Welcome back to Bountiful Gardens, Hillsborough. It's Pollinator Week here, and it's a time to celebrate those essential critters that keep the world green and the flowers blooming. And over the weekend, we had a fantastic Pollinator Day event right here in our brand new native plant section. Glenn was giving native plant tours.
It's a nice ground cover if you have like a shady spot in your garden. This is a great companion plant for goldenrods, asters, blue stem grasses.
Professor Steven Handel from Rutgers University was speaking about the importance of native plants.
If you have native plants in your home garden, those seeds can spread beyond your home to surrounding homes and to surrounding woodlots. Every effort at each person's home helps build diversity and numbers of native species in a broad area. So if you want birds and butterflies in your yard, you've got to start with native plants.
Michael Gotchfeld, author of Butterflies of New Jersey, spoke about, you guessed it, butterflies.
Once you get a few good plants that seem to work well, then you want multiple. So I typically recommend a minimum of 5 plants for a particular species if you want to keep it active and attractive.
As did Paula Williams during our afternoon session.
Most people have grass. We try to put in a little mixture of our grasses and weeds. It seems to work.
And finally, our resident landscape designer, Dan Ilkow, gave a talk on designing and caring for your very own native plant garden.
But you want to think beyond just the flower. What is it doing after it's done flowering? How is it supporting the greater ecosystem at hand? Even when things aren't in bloom per se, the mixture of different textures in the garden creates a very nice aesthetic. It also helps to bring in a lot of wildlife. So one family I want to really talk about is the mint family, or the Lamiaceae family. What's so great about this family, which includes our bee balm, for example, all those plants tend to have a little bit of a minty smell. Not only do we get to enjoy it, but it tends to ward off some of the rabbits and the deer.
It was an incredible event, and we really hope you got a chance to come out. We'd like to give a special thank you to the Native Plant Society of New Jersey and Professor Handel for suggesting the event and volunteering their time on Saturday. And Lisa, the founder of Bountiful Gardens, had some really exciting native plant news to share at the event too.
We started a native plant nursery nearby. Mike is my partner over there. He's growing all the native plants for us into sizes that we can bring here and offer at Bountiful Gardens.
That's right, we've got our very own native plant nursery now, with homegrown plants coming in all the time. And for the moment, you can find all of those plants right here in our native plant section. And to keep that pollinator party going, let's take a look at some host plants that would make the perfect gift for those pollinators in your garden.
So what is a host plant? A host plant is a plant that provides food, shelter, and habitat, and a breeding site for other organisms. So wild lupine is the host plant for the Carner blue, which is an endangered butterfly native to the Great Lakes. They are nitrogen fixers and do great in nutrient-depleted soils, and they thrive in full sun. Turtleheads are the host plant for the Baltimore checker spots. One of my favorite things about turtleheads is the time that they flower, which is late summer, early fall. So what a lot of people don't know about spicebush is that they are also a host plant for the spicebush swallowtails. Another great thing about spicebush is that they are a very early food source for pollinators. They flower in the early spring along with red maples. In just a couple of years, spicebush can look just like this one. So white clovers actually make a nice ground cover. They provide nice white flowers in the springtime, and they are the host plant for the eastern-tailed blues. Common rue is a great plant to add into your perennial beds. They keep away cats, dogs, and deer. The common rue attracts the giant swallowtails. The milkweeds are so important because they are one of the last host plants for the monarch butterfly, which means both the larval phases and the butterflies themselves will feed off this plant. To my left, we have swamp milkweed. This species of milkweed does really well in sunny, wet areas. To my right, we have butterfly weed. This is one of our best milkweeds for a dry, rocky, tough area. They form a deep taproot which breaks through a lot of the clay and the soil, and overall, just a really hardy plant if you've got full sun in a dry spot. In front of me, we have both world milkweed and common milkweed. Both these milkweeds are really good for meadowy, tough areas. Both plants are really great for not only the monarchs, but a lot of our other bee species as well. In front of me is coral honeysuckle, our native honeysuckle. It attracts hummingbirds like crazy, and the other thing is it attracts hummingbird moths. Here in front of me is one of my favorite asters here at Bountiful Gardens, called New England Aster. It is the host plant for the northern crescent butterfly. These typically do well in moist, sunny areas, and they'll bloom sometime around late summer, around August, and they'll bloom all the way till frost. Here is one of our native black-eyed Susans, also known as orange coneflower. It's the host plant for the silvery checker spot. And what's so great is not only does it support the butterflies in its larval and adult phases, it will also support a lot of birds as they eat the seed head throughout the winter.
Now, there's a lot of talk out there about native plants versus cultivated plants, but as Lisa likes to put it,
There's room for both. Cultivating plants is an art. Let's not villainize that culture. Let's bring in both.
so let's go check out some cultivated plants that are in bloom right now. This is Agastache or hyssop. As you can see, they're just getting into bloom. We're about the middle of June, and these guys will continue blooming throughout the entire summer. They're extremely drought tolerant once established, and they are still very deer resistant. There's a variety of colors available and also a variety of sizes. It's one of my top choices to include in any pollinator garden. This is Scabiosa or Pincushion Flower. If you're looking for a low-growing, dainty, free-blooming, deer-resistant, beautiful little perennial, Scabiosa might be the right choice for you. So this plant will bloom, continue to bloom, and continue to bloom. You're going to get a lot out of this plant. If you're looking for a great vertical accent in your pollinator garden, look no further than these Asiatic Lilies. These plants are a beacon to pollinators like bees, hummingbirds, and butterflies. These flowers also make a great cut flower too. The scent is unmistakable. You can smell these from hundreds of feet away if the wind is right. Pretty remarkable fragrance to this plant. So happy Pollinator Week from all of us here at Bountiful Gardens. And if you're liking these videos, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd really like to see our channel grow, go ahead and share this video with one of your friends. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.